Welcome to this Keycloak introduction video. In this video, I will cover what Keycloak is, its feature, operations, core concepts, architecture, and some real-time use cases. So let's start. Keycloak is an open source identity and access management solution developed by Red Hat. It provides out-of-the-box supports for single sign-on, user federation, identity brokering, role-based access control, and OAuth, OpenID Connect, and SAML protocols. It's used to secure a modern application without having to build custom authentication and authorization mechanisms. Keycloak acts as a centralized identity provider for your applications. It allows users to authenticate once and access multiple services while giving administrator control over identity, access, and user lifecycle management. Earlier versions of Keycloaks were built on Wildfly. It's a traditional Java EE application server, but it had some drawbacks like slower startup time, larger memory footprint, less efficient in containerized and Kubernetes deployments. From Keycloak 17 onwards, the server is based on Quarkus. Like Quarkus is a Java framework designed for building cloud native container first applications that start fast and use very little memory. So its key feature are like low memory footprint, developer productivity, built for Kubernetes or like OpenSafe. With Wildfly, each restart might take 30 to 60 seconds, and memory per pod might be 500 to 700 MB. With Quarkus, restart can be 1 to 3 seconds, and memory per pod can drop to 150 to 300 MB. So it's like Keycloak's key feature are single sign-on, multi-factor authentication, social login, LDAP or Active Directory integration, user management with self-service, fine-grained access control, token-based security using OAuth 2, OIDC, and SAML. Let's see Keycloak operation. Keycloak is a separate server that you manage on your network. Applications are configured to point to and be secured by this server. Keycloak uses open protocol standards like OpenID Connect or SAML 2.0 to secure your applications. Browser's application redirect a user's browser from application to the Keycloak authentication server where they enter their credentials. This redirection is important because users are completely isolated from applications and applications never see a user's credentials. Application instead are given an identity token or assertion that is cryptographically signed. These tokens can have identity information like username, address, email, and other profile data. They can also hold permission data so that application can make authorization decision. These tokens can also be used to make secure invocation on REST-based services. Let's see core concepts and terms. So we have a realm. In Keycloak, realm is a top-level container that manages a set of users, clients, roles, groups, and authentication flow. Realms are isolated from each other. So use cases are like a SaaS company runs multiple client environment like client A and client B. Each client gets its own realm for data and identity isolation. Then we have client. So a client is an application or a service that uses Keycloak for authentication. Clients can be web app like React and Angular. It can be a backend APIs like Spring Boot or Express. It can be mobile apps like iOS or Android. It can be a machine client for CI/CD pipelines or daemons. So consider like a React front-end app and a Node.js backend app are both registered as a clients. The front end uses authorization code flow with PKCE, while the backend is a barrier-only client that validates access tokens. Next, we have users. A user represents a human identity in Keycloak, can have attributes, credentials, roles, and group memberships. Can be stored internally or federated from external sources like LDAP or Active Directory. Then we have roles. Roles identify a type or category of user. Admin, user, managers, and employee are all typical roles that may exist in an organization. Roles defines permissions. So we have a realm roles like global across the realm, and we have client roles specific to client. So consider a use case like the admin role allows full access to a management dashboard, while the viewer role only allows read-only access. The next will be group. Groups manage groups of users. attributes can be defined for a group, you can map roles to group as well. Users that become members of group inherit the attributes and role mapping that group defines. So let's take an example like all engineers are added to engineering group, which grants access to the issue trackers and CI/CD tools. Then we have protocol mappers, like mappers identify how Keycloak maps user attribute and roles into token it issues, like ID token or access token. You do this per client by creating and configuring protocol mappers, useful for customizing token contents. A mapper adds a user's department and email to access token for backend authorization. Then we have client scopes. Like when a client is registered, you must define protocol mappers and role scope mapping for the client. It is often useful to store a client scope to make creating new clients easier by sharing some common settings. This is also useful for requesting some claims or roles to be conditionally based on the value of a scope parameters. Keycloak provides the concept of client scope for this. So then we have a term called like identity provider. An identity provider is a service that can authenticate a user. Keycloak is IDP. So external IDPs like Google, Microsoft, or another Keycloak instance can be integrated so users can log in using those credentials. So consider an example like a portal allows employees to log in via corporate Microsoft Azure AD and partners to log in via Google. So then we have user federation, allows Keycloak to connect to external user stores like LDAP, Active Directory. So users can log in with their LDAP credentials without migrating users into Keycloak. So consider an example like an enterprise application uses Active Directory for users credentials but relies on Keycloak for web-based authentication and SSO. So then we have authentication flow. Authentication flows are workflows a user must perform when interacting with certain aspects of system. A login flow can define what credentials types are required. A registration flow defines what profile information a user must enter and whether something like reCAPTCHA must be used to filter out bots. Credential reset flow defines what actions a user must do before they can reset their password. Keycloak supports custom authentication flows, including multi-factor, conditional, and custom mechanisms. Flows are built from a series of authenticators like password, OTP, or conditional rules. Consider an example like admin configures a flow where user must enter a password, then receive a one-time code on their phone. Then we have events. Events are audit streams that admins can view and hook into. We have themes like Keycloak's UI is fully customizable using themes for a login, registration, email, and account management. So we have some token types. Keycloak issues several token types like access token used to access protected resources. Then we have ID token contains user identity information. Then we have refresh token used to obtain a new access token without re-authenticating. So example like a front end receives a access token and ID token after login. When access token expires, it uses a refresh token to get a new one. Let's see Keycloak architecture. So it has Keycloak server, the core engine that runs as a Java application, usually have Whitefly or Quarkus. Then we have admin console, like it's a web UI for configuring runs, clients, and roles. So then account console, web UI for users to manage their own profile session and credentials. Then it's we have Keycloak adapters, like it's a middleware libraries for Java, Node.js, and etc. to integrate apps with Keycloak. And the database stores all Keycloak metadata like users, roles, sessions, tokens, and it supports like Keycloak supports Postgres, MySQL, and other databases types. Let's see some real-time use cases of Keycloak. So the first case will be single sign-on across applications. A company has three apps like HR portal, ticketing system, and an internal portal. They all use Keycloak as the central IDP. How it works is Keycloak manage just users login. Once a users login into a one app, they are automatically authenticated in others without needing to log in to the system again. The next case will be securing microservices. Like a company has multiple microservices like auth, billing, customers, and all. Each services is stateless and protected with OAuth 2 access tokens. So how it works is like clients like web app or mobile app authenticate via Keycloak and receives tokens. Services verify the access token using Keycloak's public keys or via user info endpoint. So the role-based access is enforced in each services. The next case will be identity federation with Active Directory. An enterprise uses AD for internal users management but wants to enable web-based SSO using Keycloak. So how it works is like Keycloak connects to AD using LDAP federation. Users log in through Keycloak using their AD credentials. Keycloak still handles web SSO, token issues, and role mapping. The next case will be multi-tenant SaaS platform. So a SaaS platform offers services to multiple companies or tenants. Each company needs isolated users, roles, and authentication policies. So how it works here is like a separate realm is created for each tenant. Like each tenant can have a custom login themes, password policies, and user base. Keycloak administrator manage user and clients independently within each realm. Then another case will be social login for public portal. Like a public facing web portal allows users to sign in using Google or Facebook or GitHub. So how it works here is like Keycloak integrates with Google or Facebook as an identity provider. When user clicks sign in with Google, Keycloak handles the OAuth 2 exchange and maps the user into its own realm. The last use case will be like a custom login with multi-factor authentication. Like a healthcare portal needs two-factor authentication for security compliance. So here it works like Keycloak's authentication flow is customized to require username and password with OTP via mobile app or email. Login is blocked if MFA fails. So these are the real-time use cases. We have more, but these are like the simple real-time cases where Keycloak is used. So now you know the basics of Keycloak and how it fits into a modern application security. Thanks for watching.